Welcome. One thing I wanted to note, that the next meeting will be on the 9th of November, not on the 10th, as indicated in, I believe the book says that. Wait, am I messed up? Oh, no, it is right. The book is right. Sorry, the last two committee meetings, the book was wrong. Next meeting is on November 9th. Sorry.
At 9:30.
That's early. November.
It's at 9:30? It says here 11 in the book.
Is it 11?
Remember, everything shifts up in November.
Really? So one book says the 9th? Okay, I'll tell you when it is. The next meeting is November 9th at 11 o'clock. Okay, so I hope that works for everyone. I'm sorry, it was Mitch Paley had some Long Island stuff he had to do, and so we tried to keep all three meetings the same. But if you can't make it, we'll make sure that we don't give them too much rope to my left. Okay.
There's one public speaker this morning, Mr. Murray Bowden.
Oh, lucky me. I get to hear you for the third time today. Oh.
She wasn't here for the first meeting. Good morning. My name is Murray Bowden, and I represent concerned grandparents. I was going to speak on capital projects, and then I started talking to a whole bunch of people, and I forgot what I was going to talk about. So I'm only here to say good morning, and I'm timing myself here with my watch. I guess I saw Obama last night, and he was talking about change and the way the world is changing and the difficulty it is to institute change. Around here, it's incredibly difficult to get anything to change. We've always done it this way for 50 years, and why shouldn't we continue to do it this way for 50 years? Because it's flexible now, and I talked about the bus lanes and the HOV lanes being on the outside instead of the inside, and the necessity to think in terms of flexibility. This is a world run by computers. Computers inherently are flexible. They change as an algorithm as you change them. And some of the people in this area need to change as well and think more flexibly. I've spoken to a number of people today about things that I had no idea I was going to talk about when I got here. People who I thought were inflexible are changing. And I need to talk to and mention the fact that change is possible. I will stick to my 2 minutes, and if I run out, I'll stop in the middle of a word. 6 seconds. I hope you all have a nice week and you have a healthy week. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There are no changes to the committee work plan. Project status reports. Michael?
Good morning. This is a relatively light month in terms of any new news. I'll touch upon each project and also show you a few pictures just to get a sense of the tunneling progress for the 7th, 2nd Avenue and East Side Axis. So we'll go through them. Fulton Street Transit is the first of the project I'm going to cover. The project continues to make great progress. The foundation contractor completed the road decking on Broadway, and in November we're going to have, in effect, the bottom slab of the transit center will be poured. So we'll actually start seeing things coming to fruition. We made continued progress with procurement. The contract to restore the Corbin building was advertised on October 12th, expecting to get the bids in December. And we are on just ahead of schedule on advertising the Day Street Concourse, the underpass finishes contract, and we, in effect, expect to have most of the contract, all of them actually, under contract in the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter of next year. That means by the end of the spring, we will be under contract with all our work for the Fulton Transit. Just one thing that I would like to mention is that we are also on schedule on opening the RW northbound platform at the end of this year. One item that I would like to draw your attention to the book is the adjusted cost categories in the committee books. Well, the total is the same. Nevertheless, we have shifted some contingency money into the real estate category due to the increased cost in the real estate acquisition, as well as we shifted a few millions into the construction management due to the repackaging. Everything else is according to plan.
Why did you shift the money?
To cover the additional costs that we expect to have for real estate.
So you shifted, you don't need it yet, you just shifted it just in case? Or you
We do know we need it. We do know we need it. It's not that we. There are some that is in the risk category, but there was a ruling by a judge, and all of these things are actually what we have done is to put the money where it belongs right now,
We don't
rather
like to
than.
keep too much in the construction pot.
Okay, we need to put it where it belongs when we know that it belongs there. Okay. The next project would be the number 7 line extension. The only thing that I can tell you that is worth mentioning is the fact that during November we're gonna get our TBMs into the cavern. I don't know if you can see some of the stuff is quite exciting. This is the precast liners behind in the tunnel, but you can see a beautiful picture of the. Go next, Bogdan. This is actually a connection between the station cavern and the shaft that is being completed, and then you'll see the cavern. This is really the station, what you're seeing here. What you're seeing is the waterproofing, and the station is kind of started to take really a form that we can see how it's going to look in the future. So that's about as much as the other thing is that the freezing equipment that was the ground freezing equipment on 11th Avenue has been totally removed, and the work to restore the 11th Avenue to its former usefulness will be done by November 4th. 2nd Avenue, I think, is the next one. I would like just to make a corrections here. When you look at the current issue and highlights, the second bullet at the end, it says proposal are due on November 6th. Actually, letters of interest are due on November 6th, not proposal. That's a big difference. So, on page 17, second bullet at the end, it says proposals. Actually should have said letters of intent. The main issue that we had there, as you all aware of it, was the controlled blasting that was going on. In effect, was supposed to be already ongoing. That was delayed due to the required stabilization of a couple of buildings, 1768, 1766. That work is right now underway, and we expect to go back to the blasting somewhere in the 3rd week of November. That's a projection. We are working, though, in that area. Could you please, Bogdan? Okay. What you see here is below 2nd Avenue. These are real bracings that you see on the first level. Next, you can see that we actually are down about 35, 40 feet. You can see the Bobcat below these things. And we are continuing to remove material, both soft material as well as rock through mechanical means.
Michael, to stabilize these buildings, are we underpinning them, or are you just bracing them?
No, we are doing some bracings.
Some bracing.
Yeah. We are not in the, these buildings have been, in effect, deficient way before we got there. And what we're doing is we're doing just enough so these buildings are stable for us to be able to proceed with the work. Beyond that, the owners of the buildings are going to do whatever they need to do to put them in a state of good repair.
And do we have a handle on the cost of what that is going to entail? To brace them?
The cost of the bracings, at
Yeah.
this point, we have had our contractor do that because the delay costs that would have been involved are significant, and this is really not a high cost for us to do it. We are there, and it was very, it was expeditious. We could do it
I understand it's expeditious because they're on the site and everything, but do we have any idea what it's going to cost?
We do. We do.
Maybe you could get us a number?
It is somewhere in. I don't remember the number. It's somewhere in the vicinity of $500,000.
Okay, thank you.
And this is just a picture of the work site.
Yeah.
We, in fact, are trying to be friendly to the neighbors by putting all kind of. We're trying to. The housekeeping is quite important there, and we're going to try to do even better than we're doing right now.
You still have to have a major amount of empathy for those
Absolutely.
storekeepers.
Yeah. I guess that's about it for that. East Side Access. On East Side Access, the work is proceeding well. The Queens Soft Ground Tunneling contract was awarded, and the kickoff meeting has been held, and work is expected to begin at several locations by mid-November. Okay, we start our coordination with Con Ed and Temporary Power, so that is proceeding well. We received 9 bids for the 50th Street ventilation facility. That was a good thing, and the apparent winner, the low bid, is about I would say 15% below our engineer's estimate. So what it is telling us that when we deal with the type of construction that is not necessarily specialized, we're getting lots of good bids, and that's a good thing, and we hope that is going to continue. That was a $94 million low bid on a $112 million engineer estimate, so that was a good thing.
Bit of the sign of the times.
We are, at this point, at the final negotiations on the Northern Boulevard crossing, and I will bring it to the board. It was an RFP, so it will come to the board in November, on November 9th, for an award. There are some pictures again here. Can you go to the next? This is just, you can see the excavation started at the eastbound, and we are moving forward. This is again looking south to the cavern, and we have an arch excavation here. And then this is Madison Yard. This is the area that we are taking from Metro North as before, and we're doing the work right now after. And we are actually building elevated wellways, and we started to put form work for the pile caps, and this is quite a very complex piece of work. And again, I'm going to try to invite board members to come and take a tour sometime during December.
Okay. Any questions? Just as an aside, I sort of just peripherally got involved with a little issue with Schiavone last month because they dug their heels in when they didn't get one of many awards. And every business should be reaping the benefits of a good account like the MTA, as Schiavone is. But anyway, so we addressed it with Schiavone, and because they had filed suit on the MTA about their...
This was the bid protest, and so
Exactly.
it was helpful that you made a call to the
Well,
president.
that's not, I don't
Schiavone.
care, because I'm
Oh,
not, believe me,
that's
I'm not going to get a Christmas bonus or anything because I did that. The point I'm trying to make is we are fair. We are probably one of still, especially this committee, one of the best potential customers that any construction company or engineering company would want. But when someone feels they're wronged, then of course there's a legal process that they're able to
Follow.
exercise. However, and this was more, I felt, in my opinion, was more an emotional exercise, and we don't have any room or time for emotion. So I'm very glad that Ronnie and her team prevailed. Okay, so that's that. Did anybody have questions about what I'm saying, or am I confusing anybody? I don't know if anybody remembers this from the last meeting. Well, she's a lawyer. They're great at words.
We get paid by the word.
What? You get paid by the word, exactly. So regarding the procurements, we have two, and they both, well, Ronnie can explain it.
There are two procurements. One is a $0 award to a group of environmental services consulting firms to have them available to issue task orders if and when we need them. And the second is a ratification of an award on a software contract with Integraph to have them provide some additional services for the software associated with electronic work. And that's to an amount up to $1.396 million.
On the $0 award,
Yes.
once a scope is determined, that's when the actual dollars will be?
Exactly, and we compete them at that time. So when we have a need for them, we would issue to 3 of the firms, for example, a scope, and they would submit a task order proposal, and we'd go to the one that was most competitive.
So obviously those will be coming back to us?
On task orders, we don't bring them back to the board. That's why we bring the concept of awarding up to $3 million of environmental services to this stable of firms.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'd like a motion. All in favor? Okay, so moved. Action items.
There are 3 action items that relate to work in adjacent structures to where we're doing project work. So the first is for design and construction at a building next to where we're going to put a subway entrance for Fulton for up to $1 million to relocate the building's heating plant. The second is a design services agreement on 2nd Avenue at East 83rd Street, where we'll be making some utility relocations associated with an entrance there for the 2nd Avenue subway. And the third is also a 2nd Avenue subway design services agreement for building work at between 86th and 87th Street.
Okay. Any questions?
What's the work between 86 and 87?
There's a building there that we need to do, have the building relocate an extensive series of utilities that are in their basement, because that's where we're going to be. It's within the easement space that we've taken for an ancillary facility for the 2nd Avenue subway entrance that'll be at 86th Street there.
So we have to make them whole. Okay. I move them. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Regarding the preliminary budget and the July financial plan, Tony is available to answer any questions. He's always available.
Making a presentation
Yeah.
next month.
Okay. Now we'll move to the real estate portion of the meeting. And Jeff is, there isn't anything too earth-shattering this month. However, Jeff will, Jay Walder, I don't know, what's his title? President?
Chairman and CEO.
Chairman. I don't know. Chairman Walder got involved in some of the Grand Central Terminal leases in light of some of the protesting that's been going on in the last couple of meetings. So Jeff will explain how we're going to put a few things on hold for now.
Well, I'd just like to, good morning, everybody. Just like to say there is change in the air. We have a new chairman and CEO and a new director of real estate, and we thought this was a good opportunity, as concerns had been expressed, to re-examine systematically our standards and procedures for Grand Central leasing. It does involve a broader variety of considerations than many of the leases and licenses that we enter into. We have that review underway. We have draft new guidelines for your consideration that we expect to present to you in November. And in the meanwhile, we're holding back on issuing new RFPs or action on the food-related RFPs that we had in the works, including, I should say, the Corrado bread space in the marketplace, which this committee acted on but did not go to the full board last month.
So Jeff and Nancy Marshall and the chairman are actively looking at all of this.
We have a
So we'll
group.
keep you
and-
posted.
And then beyond that, we do have 6 action items, as you say, I think relatively minor ones. They're summarized in the book. If anyone has any questions, I can answer.
Oh,
One question. On the Fordham Station
Yeah.
outbound platform expansion,
Right.
is that to accommodate the university and access to the university, or is it to accommodate more passengers? Because if it is, why wouldn't we also be expanding the inbound platform?
I don't know if there's here.
It's primarily to accommodate passengers. There's a lot of off-peak ridership or reverse commute ridership that originates at Fordham Road. It's also a benefit to the university as well.
This is actually an item that came through the board before, but on remeasurement, it was determined that we need to take, I think, 600 additional feet or something. So this is.
So it's expanding north, obviously. Yeah, because you can't go south. So it's basically for reverse commuting purposes. Yeah. Thank you.
I didn't think of it like that. That's right.
Yeah, that's a success story.
Okay. So I'd like a motion to move these items. Okay, all in favor? A motion to adjourn the meeting till November 9th? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you.